Hello. Oh my goodness, it's been a little while since I have jumped on live. Today I'm really taking you through my neuromanifestation process, taking you step by step. I've had so many requests for this, so I'm extremely excited to dive in. If this is the first time you've ever caught me live in your entire life, say hi. And if you are catching the replay, let me know in the comments that you've watched the replay and write manifestation or neuroscience. Hello Nat, hello David, hello everyone jumping on. I'm so excited you're here. So I have been getting so many requests on what is my process? What is the thing that I take my clients through that are getting them these crazy results? And today I am really taking you step by step on what that is, so you can fully understand what even is neuroscience, what even is manifestation if you're not familiar with manifestation. However, it is a mix of different modalities that I take my clients through that have allowed them to see huge changes in their life in such a short amount of time. Now, manifestation sounds very woo-woo, but in the spiritual aspect of things and in science, they can marry each other so that you can best understand it if you have a very intellectual brain, just like I did, because I have my background in psychology. I used to have a very intellectual or different perspective of the world, where if it wasn't backed by science, I will not take it. I will not believe it. And the way I see the world is very different now. But I wanted to take you through why this works. And I've been talking a lot now on my page about neuromanifestation, right? And the term actually came up from talking with my team, and we were talking about how can we create and name my modality, because I was so confused. I had all these different modalities that I was taking my clients through, and I wanted to create something that sounded really nice and that was a very good representation of what is actually happening. Hello Mish, hello everyone jumping on. So basically, he liked to add the word neuro in front of certain topics. And I knew, even though I wasn't a manifestation coach, I was in the subconscious rewiring. And I've seen the level of results that all my clients have whenever they come to me with a certain goal, whether that's a dream relationship, whether that's a certain money goal, whether that is to become the #1 top performer in their sales role. They always achieve everything that they set out to achieve. Hi Sarah. And so I'm going to take you through my step-by-step framework in terms of what I have been able to learn over spending 40K, 50K on my own personal development. And I'm going to take you through the science behind why this works. I'm going to take you through my personal framework and what I have used that has really worked on myself to go from making $164 to making $17,000 in a month, 3 months later, and now making consistent 5-figure months in my business. And yeah, it gets really fun. I'm really excited. If you are on here and you're present, drop an emoji in the chat. I would love to know who is here, and I want to say hi to you, and I also thank you for being here. Okay, so first things first is understanding what even is neuroscience. So neuroscience is neuroplasticity. It is we have billions and billions of neurons in our brain. So if you think about how many stars there are in the galaxy, there are billions of stars in the galaxy, and there are more neurons in our brain than there are stars in the galaxy. There's a Harvard study done on this. If there are more neurons in our brain than there are stars in the galaxy, the amount of neural networks there are in our brain that have been firing and wiring each other since you were born, right? Even before that, I would argue even before that, even before when, you know, the genetic makeup of your parents, of your mom, of your dad, right? They come into, it doesn't just live in the brain, but it's all over your nervous system. We have built like tons and tons of neurons. That's why you can feel things, and that's why you call them your nervous system. So your brain and body is very much connected. Now, when we think a certain thought, I want you to imagine a cornfield. And if you think of a cornfield where there's a tractor running over the cornfield over and over again, it creates an imprint in the field. And when you create an imprint in the field, that's what it looks like in your brain when you're starting to think of a thought again and again and again. And the more you reinforce the thought, the more it becomes an identity. Okay? So the way to rewire your subconscious is through a lot of emotion and a lot of repetition. So as you are focusing in on the new belief, on the new identity, you also have to release the old story. What do I mean by that? From ages 0 to 7, you were conditioned and you picked up like a sponge everything from the world, from wherever you were brought up, from your parents, from your teachers, from your peers. And it is so important that anything that is incongruent, and when I say incongruent, it means you come here nowadays and say, I want to make this much money, I want to have my dream relationship, I want to lose weight. But if anything that was traumatic, because remember, emotion is stored in the body as energy. Anything that's been traumatic, it spikes your nervous system, science shows it gets stored in our body. So anything that has been stored needs to be released first before we can add in the affirmations, right? Or people that want to get the results quickly, I would highly recommend you go down this route. And you can say affirmations for the next 2-3 years, and you know it might work, but for me, I want results yesterday. And if you're like myself, you're very much results driven. So clearing the misunderstandings, which I do through a number of different modalities. Like I've got it down here. The way I help my clients is through hypnosis, through parts work, through inner child work, through quantum shifting. So quantum, what's the word? Transporting. Before and after testing. So anytime when you are testing a certain emotion, I always like to make sure that you can see the changes that are happening. So before a session, say you are at 2 out of 10 out of belief, quantum jumping, out of belief that you deserve to make $10,000 or $20,000 or $1 million. And at the end of the session, it can go up to a 10, at 8, 9, or 10. Okay, so that's before and after testing. Then I do EFT tapping, and I also use neuro-linguistic programming and timeline therapy. So if any of those modalities are not familiar with you, that's absolutely fine. You do not need to understand any of them. It's purely for those that want to understand what my modalities, or what it is that I actually do with my clients. Now, that's the things that I mix them all up as my own, and I use intuition to work one-on-one with my clients and make sure that they get the utmost best results with any of these different modalities. So first of all, right, that is the understanding of a little bit about neuroscience. It's creating new neural networks in the brain so that you're creating a new identity, the new identity of the self that believes you are worthy of the money, believes that you are worthy of the amazing life or the love, right? Because if you have the old story that has been firing and wiring, because if you want to think of wires, they've just been shooting out again and again and again, this old story of yours, that money's scarce, that it's scary, it gives me anxiety, I don't want to look at my bank account. That is what you're going to see time and time again. And so we want to release that old story, clear that misunderstanding, and then add in and create new neurons and new neural networks that are in favor of the new goal. Let's call it a goal, right? As it is what it is. Let's say you want to believe that abundance is your birthright. Abundance and success is meant for you. That it's easy for you. That it is safe for you. Okay? So throughout my sessions, what I would typically do is I would set an intention. So I'll get my clients to set an intention. Now I'm taking you through my process. I would get them to set an intention. So setting an intention, and the reason why this works is because you're telling your brain and you're prepping your spirit almost of, okay, this is exactly what I am ready to move through. And it's the decision that you are making. And it is so powerful because every time you set that intention of, my intention today is to clear this unworthiness of not making money, of not having the love that I desire or want or deserve. And when you clear that on, and when you have that intention, it becomes super powerful, and I find that it's always working. All right, and then next step is really opening up the space, opening up your energy field of what it is that you're wanting to manifest or what you're wanting to call in. So I'm taking you through my process of what I do throughout one session, not throughout the 3 months. This is just purely for one session in the 60 minutes, okay? And what I would do is I would always get the client to go into their body and find what it is that energetically is, either that's blocking them or that is feeling any sort of resistance, because the resistance is purely just lower and more dense energies. I'm going to share with you a visual so that you can see clearly what I mean by lower and more dense energies, because this is really important for you to know. So it's called A Map of Consciousness by Dr. David R. Hawkins. And this is going to be the most important map that you've ever seen in your life. So this is what it looks like. Drop a yes in the chat if you've seen this before. But basically, we have lower emotional states like shame, guilt, anger, hi Anna, and grief. So anytime we feel these lower energetic states, these lower energetic frequencies, that whether that's you feel shame around money, whether you feel guilt around making money or keeping money or holding money, whether you feel anger, whatever it is, we have to release that. So what I do is I take you through the process of identifying it in your body. I'm trying to live in alignment every day, all day. Enlightenment. Yeah, and the way to live through enlightenment is to actually work on these lower dense emotions. It's to release those dense frequencies that have been stored in the body. I'm not saying that you may have a lot of them, but a lot of humanity, we live in these 200, so we're just kind of going up and down the scale. And so the more we can release the denser emotions, the heavier frequencies, the more we can move up to love and joy and peace. So that's what I do with the work with my clients, is helping them release that. When I say release, think of a water bottle, and it's filled with water. And this water is a representation of shame, a representation of guilt, of anger, of grief. And through my process, it's actually just releasing it again and again and again. And consistently, so that you feel lighter, that you get more clarity. Because it's everything is just energy, everything is emotion. So once you start doing that, and you start moving up the scale, then I do that through identifying it. Where is it living in your body? So maybe you're feeling it in your head, maybe you're feeling it in your throat, maybe you're feeling it in your chest, or maybe it's just shame. Shame gets really stored in our hips. That's why you always see me dancing, because I like to move my hips, so I release that energy, right? So once you release, once I help you identify where it is in your body, you can do this if you're ever alone, is to go into the root core. If you're jumping on late, you have to watch the replay because it's so incredibly valuable. You go into the root core of where it is in your body. So if it's living in, if you feel that fear or that shame or that guilt or wherever it is, if it's in your stomach, if it's in your head, if it's in your body, I would recommend that you label it. What does it look like? What color does it look like? And we use colors because that bypasses the conscious mind. And when you identify where it is in your body and you use it and you trace the sensation in where it is, whether it's your chest, your head, or your stomach or your arms, you can actually use that as a portal to the very first moment that this story was created. This is really, really, really cool. Okay, and you do this through identifying the color. So as you close your eyes and you ground into your body and you find out, if you ever want to find out what the subconscious or the root cause of the story, do this. Go into your body, ground in, breathe. Once you're in your body, feel into where it is, the fear, the shame, the guilt, the grief, whatever, and label it, whether it's a color, a shape, or vibration, and focus in on that sensation and ask your body, when was the first time I felt this way? And it will take you back, it will transport you back to the very first moment, and trust that you have the answers. You have the answers. So this is super, super powerful, because what happens with my client as I'm guiding them through the very first moment, they tend to even go back to the womb, to their mother's womb. And through that, you can change the story. You can change your lineage. You can almost change the past. And it's very, very powerful, because you're changing the past of your stories in your head, of all the stories that are living in your body. You're not subject to the past. You get to change it consistently. Okay? So that's where then, once we clear any of the distortions, any of the lingering feelings through my mix of modalities, then I would typically take you through, here I've written it down here, recoding the energy. So once it's released from the body, you may tend to feel a little bit empty. Maybe there's a bit of neutrality, but because there's no more of that energy that was living in your body for such a long time, we want to insert a new coding, whether that's inserting a new frequency, a new identity, or whether that's I want the codes for abundance, I want the codes for confidence, and we insert that back into our body, so that we don't, it's like if you have an empty bookshelf and you've taken some books out, and instead of letting dust collect, we want to put in some new books, new stories that are going to serve our new identity, that's going to serve the new story of ourselves. Okay, so once we do that, then I either do some inner child healing with my clients, and through the inner child healing, it will start to shift how they see the world and their timelines. Because if you think of like a layered cake, past, present, future, time it doesn't exist. It's not linear. As you are healing your past, you're healing your present, and therefore your future. And so as we are doing some inner child healing, we connect with our higher self. When we connect with that, I know this is going to sound bizarre because this is my process. Basically, we want to also have this connection with our higher self. And once we do the inner child work, then step 9 is to connect with our higher self and embody that higher self. So what we do is I take you through some visualizations where you connect with that version of yourself, your future self that already has everything that you want, through visualization, through emotion. And then what we do at step 10 is like to really just seal it all with gratitude. So I'm going to take you through that all over again, just to refresh your memory. Step 1, set an intention. Step 2, release any of the limitations that are stored in the body. Step 3, transforming that limitation into a gift. And then step 7 is like recoding those new information to insert into the body. Okay, what step am I on? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then step 5 is healing your inner child. Step 6, calling in your higher self. Step 7 is to change your timeline, so visualizing a new future. Step 7 is to lock it all in with gratitude. And so that's a very, very basic idea of what I take my clients through during those 60 minutes. But throughout the 3 months that I actually take a neuromanifestation process with, it's at the start of our first month, it's looking at our unconscious patterns, bringing everything up from the subconscious into the conscious mind, so that you have all these light bulb moments, you have all these aha moments. And then in the second month, it's how can we start to really install new beliefs, new patterns within ourselves. Month 3, it's confirming the identity. It's consistently working on that identity. And we're actually always doing this in every single session, and I always set them homework for it. And every single week we connect and we meet up, and it's, hey, what is coming up for you this week, whether that's with your health or with your money or with love, and let's work on that. Because the thing is, everything is interconnected. If you look at your life right now and one area is going to shit, I can guarantee you it's related to your business, or it's related to your romantic relationship, or it's related to that really landed with me just then saying that. Or it's related to your health. Are you taking care of your health? So just really look at your life. If something is not working out, I want you to ask yourself, what does this remind me of? How is this related to my business? Or how is this related to my love? Or how is this related to my relationships? My family, right? So if you jumped on late, I highly recommend you watch this entire video. Replay. I went through my entire framework and my process. I will also be uploading this on YouTube. And if you have any other questions, drop them in the chat so I can answer your questions, because I love supporting you. I love supporting my little community. And yeah, today's been so much fun. I appreciate you for spending your Tuesday night with me, or Wednesday morning, wherever you are in the world. I love you so much. I'm going to have this uploaded onto YouTube so you can watch the whole entire replay. And if you have any other questions, send me a DM on Instagram so you can connect with myself or my team. If you want me to take you through my process, I do have one more spot left for private coaching, which is insane that we're basically booked out. One more spot left for private coaching, so DM me the word info and I will reach out to you, and you can jump on a free call with myself or my team. I'm really, really excited to support you and see all your freaking amazing wildest dreams come true. You deserve it all, and I will see you very soon. Bye.